smooth in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credential. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it?
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition of the NFC Championship game on EA Sports between our visitors and our home team. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Chicago Cougars and our home team. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports, and man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the 44, Allen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 44 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Barnes. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 8. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. He's got daylight. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you bring some doubt in their minds.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right?
It's a foot race. 20. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A big play there. 74 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. No problem there on the extra point. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now,
that's caught inside the 20. A huge play there for Chicago. 57 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Allen. This will be caught at about the 5.
Let's go.
That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. To throw, it's Allen. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
So here is the home side to take over on offense. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And he rifles one incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Ready up. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Throwing on 1st down. Barnes. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Back to throw. Barnes. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. 25 yards that time.
Here we go.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Now.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, another offensive player quick to react, and they will indeed retain possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. 2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report in a bit. The coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. And he will take it in for the touchdown. From 4 yards out, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point kicker. Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. To the air. Allen going right side here, and that's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Complete to right. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. The final shot before break. Barnes going for Metcalf on the deep ball, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, one half remains in the battle to see who will take home that George Halas Trophy and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's look back to the AFC Championship game held earlier today. And it's the Denver Broncos who are heading back to the Super Bowl as they await the winner of this NFC Championship game. So with that, let's get you right back out for the second half, as one of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. To find out who, let's turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a 13-yard pickup as the downs reset.
70, Indy.
On 1st and 10, Barnes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. On 1st down, Barnes. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Going to give this time to the tailback.
Look, I realize on any play call, when it's properly executed, it can go for a touchdown. But the runs that really make it work are the ones where you just get what you need, right? And he barely got the...
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The point after is good, and that will put them on top here in the third. That time a 6-play drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And this is good for a first down. His second grab of this NFC Championship bout. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They run the counter. Right. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. any part of it that's going to be 15 yards.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face a third down. 1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Allen, and this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up third down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Allen now looks to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Unsuccessful pass on 3rd down, but at least you got 3 points here in your hip pocket.
Yeah, and I would take it from my hip pocket and put it right on the shoe of my kicker and go get those 3 points. This isn't even a discussion to me. This is a chance to take the lead after a good drive. Do it.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And here now the offense heading back out there. And what a pressure spot for both sides, really. But they're at home now. They have the football here in the playoffs, sort of controlling their own destiny.
It's a spot they've all dreamed of. This is where you want to be. Home, have the ball, a chance to win the game, control your own destiny, as you noted. But here's the thing. Don't let the crowd get too involved if you're this team now. You've got to make sure you let them carry you, but not cause you to do things out of what you're supposed to do, right? Take you away from focusing and concentrating on the game.
Because sometimes you get so amped from the crowd that can carry you into spots you don't want to be. Is that what you're saying?
From experience, sometimes that crowd gets so involved in it and you get involved with them that you end up making plays or trying to do things that maybe you shouldn't have done.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? All right, 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through them right now, throwing the football. I think it's permeated itself throughout the entire team. They feel good about what they're doing.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will shave one more off this lead. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock the Alvin away and bring up second down.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there and a first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 34, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A huge play there on the screen pass. 46 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. They'll keep it on the ground. Right. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me,
and got his man complete. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope. No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. The extra point up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. So they'll quickly now signal for the timeout. And it's definitely not looking good, but at least they'll have one final play to hope for that miracle and get them in the end zone. So with just a few ticks left, they need a miracle. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Charles, let's focus for a second on the losing side. In a couple months, they may look back and say, wow, it was a great season. But right now, I guarantee they're feeling no sugarcoating on this one.
And you can already see the T-shirts at training camp next year, can't you? Unfinished business. Because they've got to find a way to motivate these guys to go through all the same pain, right? All the same tough stuff, and find their way back and give themselves a chance to win this game again next year.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.